Remember last year when I ranked all 14 2025 Pixar Cars diecasts? Well, it's that time of the year again. This time, we are now going to be ranking of the 2026 Pixar Cars diecasts. Now, I do gotta warn you, though there are going to be some diecasts that will look exactly the same as they were before, but you will see some new faces in this video. And I don't really just wanted to just rank 5 diecasts every time when I saw new ones coming out next year. I feel like I just had to rank over 10 Pixar Cars diecasts, but whatever. So without further ado, let's dive right into the ranking list. At 17, also known as dead last, is... I know a lot of fans are probably going to kill me for this, but Mater is unfortunately on that number. Now, before you guys go on commenting and say that I'm disliking your boy Mater for no reason, let me tell you first. Same diecast, unfortunately same background, same everything. Well, except he uses his Cars 2 artwork. Look, I don't like to put Mater in dead last. I mean, let me tell you, I like Mater. I think he's a really good character. But when I'm making these ranking videos, I'm talking newer diecasts. And Mater is not one of them, unfortunately. I mean, he doesn't have to be new, but I mean, to be completely honest, it's just the same character repackaged for next year. But it is what it is. On to the next one. Sorry, Mater fans. At the 16th spot is... I'm sorry, but Cryptid Busted Lightning McQueen is number 16th on the list. And then again, more and more diecasts are the exact same thing as the previous years. Okay, I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. But like I said earlier, I don't want to just rank 5 total diecasts just to make this video very short and pointless. So that's why I have to rank 17 other diecasts, including the same old versions. But not all of them have to be ranked very low. There are going to be some old ones that are going to be ranked very high, including new ones, of course. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm biased with new diecasts. I'm not that kind of a person to be that kind of a guy. Anyways, on to the diecast. It's kind of cool. It's the same old background as usual. Nothing else much to say, so let's move on. 15th on the list is the 2-pack of Jim Reverick and Spiky Phillips. If they have good packaging, Mattel, you know what I'm talking about, but they don't. So you don't. I've been mentioning the Red Rider's background way too much, so let's get on to the characters. Starting off with Jim Reverick. Now, Jim Reverick has been in my top 10 favorite racers on my ranking list. But after a few changes to my next gen ranking list, he's now sitting in 12th on my list. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, here's my tier list. I also made a community post of my tier list just about a year ago. The reason why I dropped Jim out of the top 10 is because of his design. I'm starting to think that his design is just not awesome anymore. It is good, but not awesome. Now on to Spiky Phillips. He is 29th overall on my list, and he is on the tier. The reason why is because, well, his design doesn't look that good at all. Mostly because the white and the red are now gone. Jeez, low effort design at least? But yeah, this 2-pack is just meh. On to the next one. At number 14 is Jerry Recycled Batteries. Wait, is he actually returning? Please don't tell me it's real. Okay, I have so many questions about this character. Well, if this is actually true, then I guess? So, his last re-release was in 2010, just 15 years ago. If you are lucky enough, maybe he might actually make his return to the diecast line. Also, he is kinda grumpy, despite him getting confused by McQueen with Mac. At the most unluckiest number is the most unluckiest diecast, which is of course Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen. Now, I wouldn't say that this diecast is completely unlucky. It was just a joke I made. But I would say that the diecast made a well-deserving return for the 2026 diecast line. His last re-release was from 2015 through 2016, maybe even 2017, if I can remember correctly. And why is it in the number 13 spot, you ask? Well, it is a different McQueen, but still the same character. I mean, he's not as a quote-unquote best return of the year like the stock cars, but he's still a pretty good diecast to have. Except me. I still don't have one. Number 12 on my list is Flo. Flo is the main character in the first Cars movie, and now in the last two movies, she's just a side character. But now onto the diecast. Now you guys may think that, oh, this is just the same diecast, it's nothing special. But the only difference is that Flo doesn't have a tray on her left side anymore. That's the difference. Here's a side-by-side comparison of 2026 Flo and 2025 Flo. As you can see, they are a little bit different. The one on the left is facing forwards, and the one on the right is facing backwards, because 2025 Flo has a tray on her left side door, which I did not expect that to be included, but now the one on the left doesn't, and that is pretty good. Other than that, it's still the same character, and that's why I have her down at 12. Nothing much else to say, let's move on. At number 11, we have Transforming Lightning McQueen, just shy outside the top 10. Now, I wouldn't mind Transforming Lightning McQueen to get her a re-release, but only could be worse. Now, he is actually a really cool diecast to say at least, because of the translation from his Rust Ease form to Dynaco form on the diecast. His last re-release came in 2016, but there is that one thing that make him, well, get out of town. Let me go through this again. Oh boy. Same packaging, same old characters, same background, same everything. I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. If Mattel actually would have just changed the background for next year, they would have known what I am talking about, but they don't. Like really, Mattel really needs to step up their game. If I would have loved the backgrounds of the packaging in the future. But the Red Riders was just so boring, it just makes me want to flip out. Anyways, yeah, sorry for my little rant, I just can't stand these difficulties and misconceptions Mattel has really put into these packagings. On to the next one though, this will be fun. Right, finally, we've reached the top 10 for the first time. And 10th place on the spot is Lizzie. Another one of the Radiator Springs tallies, and who is the oldest living character in the Cars franchise. But here is the worst part. Her voice actor, Catherine Hellman, passed away in 2019. If that's the case, Doc Hudson was never seen in Cars 2 because he died because of his voice actor Paul Newman passing away before the events of Cars 2. Okay, yeah, enough with the death talk. Let's just move on. Sorry if I mentioned it. Anyways, Lizzie is a good character, and her diecast is pretty good, but not as good as the best one on the list. I will be getting into it in a few. And she is one of the Cars diecasts that I unfortunately lost, which means I couldn't find her anywhere. So, that is number 10 on this list. Let's move on to number 9. In the number 9 spot, we have Sarge. Sarge is fine, just not that good as the number 1 spot. But he is good. Just the same character, but there were some differences between this year's and last year's Sarge. I mean 2026 and 2025 Sarge. There is this normal one with nothing on him, and there's the other one with a gas can. And two of them have different name labels. One is just normal Sarge, and the other one, Pit Crew Sarge. So it's good to see that normal Sarge is back, but just not good enough. Well, nothing else to say, so on to number 8. Number 8, we have Deputy Hazard Lightning McQueen and Bella Cadaver. Another 2-pack that somehow ended up in my top 10. Well, I gotta say, it was one of the hardest to find 2-packs. I mean, it's nice to see Bella Cadaver back after the hiatus she took of getting her diecast released. Same with Deputy Hazard Lightning McQueen, to which that their last re-release was in 2023, 2022-ish. Anyways, fun fact about this 2-pack, I don't have both of them. Especially Deputy Hazard Lightning McQueen. Like, he is the main focus here. As for Bella, not so much. But when I do get her, she might appear in my videos in the future. Well, I'm gonna have to make up some choices. But yeah, so this is a solid 2-pack. So let's move on to number 7.
Lucky number 7.
We have Hydraulic Ramon. Hydraulic Ramon is another one of the Radiator Springs talents. Another nice one to the list. He is cool, and I do like his paint job too. Red's my favorite color, by the way. But one thing about him, he is named Hydraulic Ramon, and he's not hydraulic. Just look at the comparison between the two Ramones. See the difference? The purple Ramon is hydraulic, but the red one is not. What the hell, Mattel? Anyways, let's move on. Sorry about that, guys. At number 6, we have Heyday Smokey. Very close, man. Just one number away from entering my top 5. But he is a cool looking diecast to say the least. Though this particular diecast wasn't seen in Cars 3 at first, but it's still a pretty cool diecast. I mean, doesn't have to be seen, right? Never mind that, let's get on to the diecast. I really like the flame tampos on his sides, just makes it look nice. And come to think that he's red too, well, a little more orangey and a little bit more darker, just to add burgundy onto it. But still is a nice diecast to return for 2026. Well, on to number 5, and we are 13 minutes on this video. On my top 5, we have Chris Roman. Now, some of you guys think that I am biased because I included Chris Roman in my top 5. Listen, I'm not biased. I'm not someone who just cares about Piston Cup racers. I'm also interested in Radiator Springs Townies, the Chrome Agents, the Delinquent Road Hazards, and the Lemons. I enjoy all of them, not just the Piston Cup racers. That would be just stupid. Anyways, I love that we get to see Chris Roman back in the main line for 2026. It's been a while since we've seen him. Although he is my 14th favorite next gen on my tier list. I like his blue and green design, but the only downside was that he doesn't have white. Instead, it's light blue. But I say he's good. On to the next car. On the number 4 spot on the list, it's none other than Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen? What is he doing here in my top 5? Okay, yeah, when I was ranking some diecast, and considering I ranked every single one of them, I didn't know where to place McQueen because due to this video is currently being progressed, McQueen had to stay in my top 5. But that's not the reason why he's here. I like his old design. I mean, why not? It's OG. Although he did start out in the first Cars movie as being his cocky self, but he changed. Other than that, he is the GOAT of the Piston Cup. Well, on to the next one. At number 3, we have Marilyn. As I say, she is a pretty cool diecast. I really like the flames on her. Oh come on, we always love the flame designs. And I also like the fact that China is coming back and her diecast looks even clearer in that picture. I can't tell what her model is, so let's just move on. At number 2 is NASCAR Dale Earnhardt Jr. No, not that one. This one. You can tell for sure that Dale Jr. will be that high on my list. Well, let's just simply say that he's finally back in the Disney Cars line into the Cars X NASCAR Expanded Universe series, which is, I guess you could say it's pretty suitable. Well, this is the old Dale Jr. paint scheme that he ran in the 2000s, even though I would prefer him as using his modern paint scheme that he used in the 2010s. But I'm alright with that. His last re-release was in 2010. My gosh, that's a long time. It was his rubber tire variant. So, 15 years later, and he's back. And to the fact that he's still using the Aiken Axler model. But that's not my number 1 on this list, as we are actually number 1 spot away from the number 1 spot. So, I hope you're ready for this one. Number 1 on this list is Speedy Comet. Yep, the stock cars are back, ladies and gents. Now that just gave you a surprise right there. But can we all just agree that we've been waiting anxiously for the stock cars to return to the main line? And to the fact that I freaking love the stock cars. So I have them still racing with the next gens, and the next gens will still race in the lower series. And we can also agree that China is back, not just the way it was, they still have the eyeshadow. Their entire last release came in 2021, just 4 years later, and they have made return for 2026. Anyways, on to the diecast. I kinda like Speedy Comet. He's just sitting shy out of my top 10, just sitting in 12. I do like the orange and blue combination. But the most important thing to say that the stock cars are coming back, and there is nothing to say about it. Well, that'll finally do it for this 2026 Disney Cars ranking list. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the notification button so you don't miss out on any videos. Ignore the hype button. So until then, this is the Jay's Amazing Cars and NASCAR Diecast 73. Peace out.